Hi, welcome to Not Enough Time. I'd really appreciate if you can click like and subscribe to this channel, and please check out the content I've posted on other watch brands. I'd also really love to get your comments and feedback. What would you like to see in future as I continue to add and refine the content and format on this channel? Alrighty, in this 5-minute video, I'm covering Tag Heuer. Firstly, the Twin Time Carrera, the first luxury watch I owned. What I personally love about it, what it means to me, is one watch enough in a collection? Secondly, the heritage of Heuer and Carrera. And finally, my 3 favorites from Tag Heuer's current lineup across Monaco, Autavia and Aquaracer. So this watch, Tag Heuer Twin Time Carrera. I bought this just over 20 years ago in 2002. I was living and working in Australia at the time, and it was a gift to myself after a small promotion at work. Now, my backstory and positioning of Tag Heuer. I'd always loved and enjoyed watches, and I'd owned a handful up through my teens and early 20s, including Casio, a Swatch from Rotary and Raymond Weil, but I'd never spent more than £100 or £150 on a watch. But I also did have some imitation versions of Rolex and Breitling that I liked the look of, but knowing full well I couldn't at that time afford the real thing. And I was aware of Tag Heuer in the 80s and 90s, in particular these colourful Formula One watches that became ubiquitous and a design classic. And in the late 90s, Tag Heuer really felt to me like the go-to aspirational but obtainable luxury brand for young professionals. Now, I certainly wasn't a connoisseur, but my simple opinion at the time, I couldn't justify a Rolex or a Breitling. But also, I did find Breitling had more complicated and cluttered dials. And in contrast, Tag Heuer is really what spoke to me the most. At that age, with its cool design and elegant simplicity, there were 3 tags I deliberated between. The other 2 you'll see here. That was the Monzo, which I was really torn on, and the Carrera chronograph, which was quite a bit more expensive at the time. So after careful thought, and £1,000 was a lot for me to spend, I went for this. And for 16 years, this became the only watch I wore every day. Its 2 complications remain the 2 most useful to me, a date and a GMT second time zone function. And working as I was at a global company, living in Australia with friends and family in the UK, it was invaluable being able to track 2 time zones. I love the dial, which captures the sporty design spirit of Carrera. It's perfectly proportioned, with a lovely stainless steel case and a black alligator leather strap. In 20 years, this is my 3rd strap. The first 2 shredded to nothing after 6 or 7 years of daily wear, and I've had this service twice after it stopped once and started losing time. But all up, really that's pretty good in 20 years. It's been durable, reliable, and looks remarkably well. Now, I'm a sucker for keeping hold of things that have meant something to me. I owned this watch through my early 20s, early 30s and 40s. It's been everywhere with me. I've had it through different jobs, many fun nights out, and many holidays. I had it on me when I met my wife, and also wore it during my wedding. In fact, I only stopped wearing it when the Apple Watch came out, and for a few years I switched to wearing a smartwatch before a couple of years back realizing I missed this, so I gave away my Apple Watch and started wearing this Tag Heuer again, before extending to collecting other automated mechanical watches now that I could stretch my budget a little further. But for 16 years and still today, this has been a trusted timepiece for me, and it's a companion that I've journeyed through much of my life with. I sometimes do think, do I really need to own more than one watch? You typically only wear one necklace, bracelet, or wedding ring. Why should a watch be different? And for many, maybe even the majority of people, it isn't. And then I guess on the flip side, I also appreciate the artistry and design of watches. And as a fashion accessory, when form is as important as function. Hey, it's fun to change up watches for variety and different occasions. And for men, it's one of the only few pieces of jewelry that we wear. So I kind of get both views, and in my mind I'm almost torn, but watches are dangerously addictive. I'd love to hear your comments on this. Is one watch enough, or are you a collector with several that you rotate? So on to heritage. What I hadn't fully appreciated when I bought this is the heritage of Heuer and Carrera. Heuer was established in 1860, and it's the fourth generation from 1858 to 1969 that is considered really the golden age when Jack Heuer managed the family company. And during this period, he was obsessed with legibility of watches, apparently after dropping from first to third place in a Swiss rally, and blaming that on the fact that he couldn't read the time on the dashboard. This led 5 years later in 1962 to the Heuer Carrera, where the focus was clear and minimal design language to create unrivaled readability, and at the same time a spirit of endurance and high performance on your wrist that is assertive, elegant, yet sporty. Some of the original Heuer Carreras from this period remain beautiful, collectible, vintage watches today, and you can see how some of the spirit of them has been preserved in the more modern designs. But it's easy to forget or not be aware, like I wasn't, of the long heritage of Heuer, given the subsequent mass market appeal they've gained under Tag Heuer as an entry-level luxury watch, as well as being a popular staple for young professionals and those not familiar with other brands. So lastly, I'm going to share my 3 favorites from Tag Heuer today. First is this, the Monaco, and I love the Monaco range and many variants including the Bamford edition, but my favorite is this one. It's just bold, different, and a standout in this deep purple color. Second, the Autavia. Love this in the green and bronze. Fantastic, rugged, everyday watch. Beautiful in this color. And thirdly, the Aquaracer. Bold in the orange, but the standout for me is this Night Diver, which really differentiates itself in black from other dive watches on the market. So all up, I maintain a deep affection and nostalgia for Tag Heuer. It's been part of my growing up and my original entry into more luxury watches. I love the heritage of Heuer, and I think Tag Heuer still is creating some really interesting watches and also collaborations today. They remain a brand that positively transcend the industry. There's no pretentiousness with Tag Heuer. They're accessible and beautiful watches. So if you enjoy this video, again, I really appreciate if you can like and subscribe to this channel, and I really would love to hear your comments on this video and on Tag Heuer. Thank you for watching Not Enough Time.